If you're a real estate agent, mortgage lender, financial planner, insurance agent, if you have to go out and look for business, you're going to be cold calling, advertising, or networking. They're all completely different. Today, we're going to talk about something called circle prospecting versus networking. So if you've ever said anything like, I'm new in the business, how am I going to find clients? Where am I going to find buyers? Where am I going to find sellers? I'm new in the area. I don't know anyone. Hey, how much money do you spend on leads? I get leads. They never call me back. I try to meet with them. They stand me up. They're constantly asking me for discounts. Right before we're going to close, they say, hey, I'll sign if you give me half your commission. Or again, they don't call you back. They're nagging you. They're hard to close. A lot of that has to do with the fact that you're dealing with leads. And we're going to cover all that and a whole lot more right now. Hey, it's Rick Silva. For those of you watching this recording at a later date, it's December 15th, 2020. I'm just recovering from COVID. I'd say I'm about 85 or 90% at this point. It's rough. There's another video on my YouTube channel, one referral away, if you want to see what it's like going through it. I did a video on that. And then happy holidays. Here's my Norman Rockwell Christmas tie for you all. There's my Christmas tree. Let's party. So let's talk about circle prospecting versus networking. We call it real estate training, but really any industry can benefit from this. Welcome and thank you for being here. My name is Rick Silva. I'm a former engineer with Eastman Kodak, and I was a recruiter with Cisco Systems. I think what gives me a unique spin on networking is, number one, I've been teaching it and doing it for 17 years. Number two, I've had over 6,000 one-on-one coffee meetings, and I've also facilitated well over 1,000 networking groups. So you'll see some people, yeah, I teach networking, I teach referrals, and they've been doing it for a year. They haven't made millions and millions and millions of dollars from it, or maybe they read one book, or maybe because they got 2 referrals, all of a sudden they're a referral expert. There's a lot of people out there teaching lead generating and networking that just, they don't, I think they read it in a book. I've got 17 years of doing it. Not only teaching it, but actually doing it. So not only do I run networking groups and teach networking, I have 2 courses on networking. I met my wife 10 years ago, 9.5 years ago, 10 years ago. She helps people invest in land. I've personally brought in over 500 real estate deals out of the 650 to 675 we've done. 2008, I got divorced. Met my wife a few years later, went from homeless to multimillionaire. I'm going to show you how we did that. And let me just tell you right now, it's absolutely not from circle prospecting. So I've been honored to have over 6,000 coffee meetings. I explained that. I've run well over 1,000 referral groups. Imagine how many people I've had the opportunity to sit with. In 2008, I got divorced with the real estate crash, handed my house over to my ex-wife, went bankrupt, lost my beautiful Cadillac, moved into that office. That was my office. It had some closets. I put my clothes in the closets. I slept on that futon. I put everything I owned in storage, and I was homeless for about 6 or 7 months before I met my wife. I got to share the stage with Les Brown. When I was developing all these systems, I knew they worked, and I was broke. When I'm standing on stage at the Millionaire Marketing Seminar, I was broke, but I knew this stuff worked. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. When I met my wife, I was homeless, living in my office. A few years later, we win every possible award you can win with her company. That's a picture of us on Mo'orea, which is an island between Tahiti and Bora Bora. We've been there 3 times, been all over the world. That's at the base of Santorini on a cruise ship. Got to travel the world multiple times. 9 years, we've done well over 650 real estate transactions. That's selling parcels of land. We've never cold called. We've never door knocked. We've never bought leads. Rick, where do you buy your leads? I see people in these Facebook groups. Where do you guys buy leads? Buy leads. Where do you guys buy leads? Well, I'm going to do everything I can to give you ideas so you never buy leads and you never cold call and you never door knock and you never farm. Because all of that costs money, and I'll get into why I don't think you should do it. There's a lot more reasons besides it costs money. Now, you've heard some famous people. There's Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, Buffini, Joe Stumpf, Ricky Carruth, all these guys teaching this stuff. And they teach a lot of different topics. None of them have lived their entire life 17 and a half years as one thing, a professional networker. The things they teach are things that they've either heard a little bit about. You can tell how much they know about networking because they teach like 17 modules on business development, and there's one module on networking. It should be 16 modules on networking and one module on cold calling. They have it backwards. The reason most people teach marketing and lead generating and door knocking is because they do not know how to network. The problem is most people think networking is handing out business cards and saying, hey, I'm a real estate agent. Are you looking to buy or sell a home in the next 60 to 90 days? That is not networking. That is called marketing. I'm going to go into a little bit about networking, but mostly I want to give you an idea of the difference between a lead and a referral and basically why you should not cold call ever. Now, the reason those hats are there is because I thought I knew everything when I met my first mentor. And he goes, I know you think you're a big deal. You've shared this stage with Les Brown. You've signed autographs. But in our world, you're not really a big deal. You're a big deal in your world, but not ours. If you want to become wealthy, you have to listen to people wealthier than you, more successful than you. And the only way I can get my knowledge into you is if you take your 10-gallon ego hat off and leave it at the door. So I took my 10-gallon ego hat off and I left it at the door. And those of you that are listening to this right now, just understand, please, it's, again, December 15th. I'm still recovering from COVID. So if my voice is a little raspy, if I'm not totally clean shaven, it's because I'm just pulling out. But I wanted to get this out there. I want to help people, especially during the winter months, who are door knocking, to understand it's the worst possible thing you could do for your business. And I'm going to give you reasons why. So there's only 4 ways to build your business. There's only 4. If you look at this pipeline, on the upper left-hand corner is cold calling. So that would be circle prospecting. Anytime you're picking up the phone to look for business, or if you're out knocking on doors, you are lead generating at best. Now, below that is advertising, Facebook ads, which are a little bit better, but you're still lead generating, and it costs money, and I'll get into all other reasons I don't think you should do it. On the top right-hand corner, you see that the color's a little softer. It's a blue color instead of red. Red is red alert. Blue is where you should be. Now, word of mouth, maybe you did something before and you just got into real estate, you're a new agent, whatever. Word of mouth is when you tell your friends, family members, and acquaintances what you're doing now. And it's through very proper, exact scripting. We're not talking about selling lotions and potions of weight loss chocolate and you just sell to everyone. No, you're educating people as to what you're doing now. You are definitely, absolutely never selling to your friends or family members or your sphere of influence. So word of mouth is talking to people you know. Networking is when you talk to complete strangers. I'm going to give you some ideas of who you should be networking with, but that's when you talk to complete strangers. This side, cold calling and advertising, is for leads. Word of mouth and networking is for referrals. Humongous difference. They don't even exist in the same conversation. Now, for those of you who are cold calling, you're on the left-hand side, and I want to get you to the right-hand side. And I'm going to talk about all the advantages and disadvantages of each. Cold calling, you will absolutely make sales faster. Now, you're going to bang out the phone, you're going to crush the phones, and you're going to make all these calls, and you're going to get one client, and then you're going to stop cold calling because you hate it. You're going to service that client. And as soon as you make the sale or don't make the sale, you're unemployed, and you got to start crushing the phones again. And that is a crappy place to be. You maybe are spending money on advertising, and you're probably not getting any referrals. On the right-hand side, I want you to eliminate cold calling, advertise only if you want to, and I want you to sit back and live the life that my wife and I live, and a lot of people that I've trained live, and that is maybe once a day, maybe once a week, maybe once a month. Someone calls you on the phone and says, hey, Rick, I just got off the phone with my CPA. He said I should probably look into buying a home. He gave me your card. He told me you're the guy to talk to. Now, on the left-hand side, do you want to be a person knocking on doors, looking like you're desperate, banging the phones, looking like you're desperate? Do you want to sit on the right-hand side with your pen and paper, taking orders like a professional does, like a doctor does, like an attorney does? Doctors and attorneys and CEOs of companies aren't walking down the street, knocking on doors, aren't calling people asking for business. That's I'm sorry, that's loser mentality. And if you're doing that, I want to get you out of cold calling because it's desperation and you cannot build a big business by sitting there crushing the phones. Also, before we move on too far, actually, I'll move up one slide and then we'll go over it. If you look up cold calling on YouTube, you'll see a guy wearing a shirt like this and it says flex and dial. And then you'll look at other trainings where get the mirror. So you remember, look in the mirror and smile and learn rapport and learn all these different things, and learn how to knock down barriers and learn how to really get fired up let's get fired up and make our calls. That's not natural. The guys teaching it don't look natural. Cold calling is not natural. If you look up in the Bible or any religious reading and you study the law of attraction or anything like that, the law of reciprocity says give with no thought of return. Give and abundance comes back tenfold as long as you don't tie any restrictions on it. Ye who wishes to tread on soft soil must first add water. You give and then you get. That's natural. Calling on the phone to go, hey, my name's Rick Silva, local real estate agent, looking to see if you're interested in buying or selling a home in the next 60 to 90 days. And then get all fired up, do all this training, and you got to fire. No, that's not natural. Most people can't cold call, aren't good at it, hate it, and that's why they're not making $1 million a year, flat out, because it's not natural. The people teaching it, watch them. They're not natural. Cold calling is for desperation, and if you don't know how to build a relationship. If you know how to build relationships, you build a relationship. You don't cold call people. So you look at the screen, the absolute worst way to get business is to lead generate, whether you're circle prospecting, whether you're Facebook ads, whether you're knocking on doors. That's the worst kind of lead, because when you advertise, you're commoditized. When you advertise, people want discounts. They stand you up. They don't see you as an authority. They're trying to see how they can get more out of you for less. Now, the second best way to get business is from past clients and current clients. And I see a lot of people say, I get all my business from past clients and current clients. Well, when you don't have any past clients and you don't have any current clients, you're getting nothing. Now, the people who send you referrals, your clients, it's not the best referral source because they don't totally know how to vet people. They'll just say, yeah, my brother wants to talk to you about buying a home. It's better than you cold calling, but it's nowhere near the best. The best is getting referrals from power partners. And we're going to go over a little bit more detail as to who power partners are and who they are for you. We'll get to that shortly. But before we do, we have got to understand the difference between a lead and a referral. So we look at the left-hand side of the screen. A lead is a name and number of someone who might be looking for a home. Whether you door knocked and got it, you called and got it, you did a Facebook ad and they contacted you. Hey, I saw your ad, wanted to know how much your commission was or how much whatever was. I saw your Facebook ad. I saw your LinkedIn post. Hey, I saw your sign. A lead doesn't know who you are. A lead asks for discounts. A lead stands you up. A lead shows up late. A lead wants to see 9,000 homes and never will commit. And if you've been in real estate long enough, you've experienced all of that. And 9 times out of 10, you'll experience all of that from a lead. And 1 time out of 10, you'll experience that from a referral. That's why we want referrals. You want to study the 80-20 rule. 80% of your money is made from 20% of your clients, and 80% of your time is wasted by the bottom 20%. Generally, the bottom 20% are those crappy leads or those door knockings that you're doing, because you have to spend so much time selling yourself. A referral comes from a trusted advisor like an attorney, a CPA, a financial advisor, real estate, mortgage, someone who knows their exact situation, and someone you teach. This is the key, that you teach how to send you referrals. They have a prospect profile totally filled out. I'm not going over that today. I have another video on prospect profile. When a trusted advisor fills out a prospect profile and sends the person to you, that's a referral. So I was looking in a Facebook group, and this person said, hey, I get my business by meeting people and asking. I ask people for referrals. Is absolutely impossible. There's no such thing. Will never, has never in the history of the world worked where, hey, tell me what you're looking for and I'll send you a referral. No, it's a lead. It's a lead. It's not a referral. You cannot ask for a referral. When you're knocking on the door, I could teach you how to turn a cold call into a referral call, but it's still technically a lead call. If you say, hey, you have a friend or family member who's looking to buy or sell a home, in the next 60 to 90 days. Yeah, my sister is. When you call that person, it's still a lead. It is not a referral. A referral comes from a trusted advisor, and you have a completely filled out prospect profile. If you want to know what that is, my email address is down below. Email me. Prospect profile is completely filled out. That person's 95% ready to go. When you get that, you have time to do recon on Facebook and LinkedIn so you can craft how you're going to contact them. When you cold call somebody and they immediately say, yeah, I'd like to talk to you more, you have to dig, you have to weave and bob. If you get the name from their financial planner, they say this is how much money they have, this is where they live, this is their current circumstance. They fill out an entire form out. You can go on Facebook and LinkedIn and do all kinds of research about them and look, do they have a boat? Do they like to travel? You can build trust and rapport as soon as you get on the phone because you've done your research. You can't do your research as much on a lead, especially if you're banging the phones out. They've been instructed by their advisor that you're the person to talk to. So when someone calls me on the phone and says, hey, Rick, my financial planner said you're the person to talk to about investing in land, what selling do I need to? I don't need to know how to do 9,000 different closes. 95% is done. Their financial planner told them to call me. And there's another example on the bottom. My CPA told me to call you so you can help me buy or sell a home. There's no how much do you charge? And there's all kinds of techniques I could teach you on how to keep from getting stood up. They were introduced to you by a trusted advisor. Disadvantages, advantages of leads and referrals. Leads, they leave quickly. Sometimes a quicker sale, especially if you're banging the phone or knocking on the door, if you catch them at the right time, you can absolutely make a quicker sale. The problem is once you've made the sale, you're unemployed because you haven't built anything. It's not a business. It's a one-shot deal. You want to build a business, you've got to get people in a system sending you referrals. One is a job, one is a business. Leads, job, referrals, business. So leads leave quicker, even though you can get a quicker sale. They're going to ask for discounts. They're going to want some of your commission. When you advertise, you're commoditized. Remember, when you advertise, the first question out of the mouth is, what do you charge? When you have a referral, the last question they ask is, what do you charge? Price issues, they're harder to close. You got to be really good at sales. And when you build a referral-based practice, you can be the worst salesperson, still be the number one person in your office by far. You get stood up much more. Lead generating costs money and time, and it's much harder to get and keep the appointment. When you have referrals, they leave slower. Yes, they do take longer to get going, but once they get going, it's a business. They rarely, if ever, ask for discounts. When referred to you, price becomes an afterthought. They're much easier to close. You must be good at overcoming objections, and you will receive far fewer. It should say you don't need to be as good at overcoming objections. The show-up rate is much higher, meaning you're not going to get stood up. Referrals are free, and they're way easier to get the appointment. Let's talk about cold calling, door knocking, circle prospecting, farming. On the left-hand side, it demeans the industry. Doctors and attorneys and CEOs of companies aren't cold calling. So I'm going to teach you the dentist theory, where dentists are some of the hardest people in the world to get them to ask their patients for referrals. This is what goes through the mind of a dentist. I have a patient. I ask for a referral. So that means I need business. If I need business, I must not be a good dentist. Ask for a referral. I'm not a good dentist. So I have a whole system I created on teaching dentists how to ask for referrals and look like it's the greatest compliment you've ever given the person you're asking. It's a whole system I have on asking for referrals. But most people won't ask because it makes them look desperate. Knocking on the door or cold calling. I want you to imagine back in the day, the Fuller Brush lady, people who sell vacuums door to door. You're in one of the most professional, respected, most highly paid industries on the planet. And you're going to walk up and down the street in the rain, in the snow, and you're going to knock on people's doors and ask for business, or you're going to pick up the phone and ask for business. Think about telemarketers. They are the least respected people on the planet, and that's where you want to put yourself. I don't care what coach I named in the beginning teaches you to cold call. It's because they do not know how to network. It's all they know. Let that sink in. Cold calling and door knocking is the most unsophisticated form of business development on the planet. And if you're doing it, I want to teach you how to get out of it so you're not doing it as quickly as possible, because you're not going to be respected. Bad weather, good luck. Rick, I don't cold call when it's raining or snowing. Good. Well, I hope you don't live in the Midwest because you're going to be about 3 months out of business. So I want you to have business coming to you. So if you're cold calling, it looks desperate. Dentists, doctors, and attorneys don't cold call. And I already said you got to get a mirror. You got to flex your muscles. You got to learn how to overcome objections, overcome stress. You don't need any of that when you have a referral-based practice. You don't need Vortex, RedX, GeoLeads, calling systems, 17,000 different phone numbers, 16 databases, all of this stuff, this farming, spending all this money, all this time, and then you got trading voicemails back and forth where people don't know who you are. They yell and scream at you, leave me alone, stop calling me. You got DNC lists, all this stuff. You have to sell yourself. You have to build trust and rapport. When you have a referral-based practice, you're not selling yourself because the referral partner did it for you already. The average person spends 15 to 35 hours per week doing business development. I want to cut that down and cut that back so you can spend more time servicing your clients or simply not working if that's what you choose. I work about 15 hours a week and the income is stratospheric because the referrals are coming in. On the referral side, people are calling you, you look more successful. You can be very picky who you work with. I see people in these Facebook groups. How do I fire a client? Fire them. I try to fire at least one a month. Now, in a scarcity mentality, you're scared to fire a client because you have no others. And then as soon as you fire the client, you have to start cold calling again. I have so much business coming to me. I can't wait to fire clients. So get awesome and happy about firing clients because remember the 80-20 rule, 80% of your time is wasted by the bottom 20% of your clients. Fire them. You teach your network how to send you business. You don't have stress when somebody calls you on the phone and says, hey, I heard you're the person to talk to about investing in land. What stress is there? I don't have to flex my muscles. I don't have to get all excited to cold call. You don't have to buy leads, waste your money on leads. I got clients that were spending $5,000 a month on leads. I tripled their income and don't spend $1 on leads now. And then you can take the 10 or 20 hours you're saving and use it to service your clients, make more money, take vacations, do whatever else. Main reasons to work with referrals over leads, the length of time an appointment takes. So in real estate, even financial planning, insurance, and mortgage lending, it's hours and hours to work with a client, and they don't trust you at the last minute. Hey, before I sign, give me half your commission. Or hey, I just found out my brother's cousin's sister's a real estate agent. I'm going to go with them. Those things don't happen in a referral-based practice. Now, when you're cold calling and working with leads, because they're not bought into working with you, you're going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours with them, and then they're going to leave. So if you have this really burgeoning lead business, and that's happening 10 or 15 or 20% of the time, imagine the amount of time you're wasting. When you have a referral-based practice, this almost never happens to you. So I want you to think about referrals because you want to save time. The show-up rate's much higher. Referrals are 1,000 times easier to close. Leads are great when selling low-ticket items. So when I sell my courses, when I sell things that are virtual, I don't have any involvement in it. It's awesome. Lead gen, you see all these guys selling all these courses from Tony Robbins on down because they don't have any personal involvement in it. Build out funnels, do lead generating, drive all the traffic you want. When you're driving traffic to you, to yourself, and it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours per appointment, referrals are 1,000 times easier to close and are generally not going to stand you up. It's much easier to build a business when people are chasing you. All right, so let's talk real quick. Some people call it SOI, COI, PO. I'm going to give you a little networking education here. You've learned those terms from people who are not professional networkers. They call themselves real estate coaches, and they know a lot about a real estate, but they know very, very little about networking and business development. So a POI is a person of influence. A COI is called center of influence. Another COI is called circle of influence. And then a lot of the quote unquote experts call it SOI, sphere of influence. In the networking world, it's called a power partner or power partnering. That's what it is. It's called power partner or power partnering. So I want to talk to you real quick about what is a power partner, what do you do with them? How we determine who your power partner is I want you to ask yourself a question. Who already has my client? Now, if you're a real estate agent, when you ask yourself who already has my client, I'm going to give you a few just to kind of get you on the path of what, not an SOI. The person that taught you that is an amateur at networking, a power partner. Remember the term power partner. Who already has my client? Now, if I'm a real estate agent, a financial planner knows their finances, a CPA knows their finances. You're going to need a mortgage lender. Those three are a good place to start. Mortgage, real estate, financial planner, estate planning attorney. How about a relocation company? How about the office manager at a high school? Because a lot of people call up. I know many people who have called schools and said, hey, I'm getting ready to move to that area. And I know you have a good school. What area should I live in? So if you can get your business card in the desk of the person who answers the phone at high schools, I just gave you $1 million idea right there. So if you're a real estate agent, you should be able to name minimum 100 different power partners. 100. Just look at your house and start at the top. Roof, gutter, painter, handyman, electrician, carpenter, carpet cleaning, carpet installation, furniture. That's just the house. And we go outside, we look at gardener, on and on and on. You need to be able to name 100 different industries. And then third one down is how many coffee meetings are you having? Now, I've had well over 6,000. My wife's probably had close to 4,000 one-on-one coffee meetings. Now, am I quote unquote cold calling? You knock on, I'm going to just give you a competition. You knock on 100 doors of people that you think, do your circle prospecting, make 100 phone calls or knock on 100 doors. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to knock, if I'm a real estate agent, I'm going to knock on 100 doors of estate planning attorneys, financial planners, mortgage lenders, on and on and on, insurance agents, on and on and on. You do your 100 calls. Maybe you make 1 or 2 sales. I call those 100 people and have 100 coffee meetings. 2 years from now, I'll buy your whole company out. I'll be the top producer by 5-fold over anybody else in your office, even if I was a brand new agent. So I'm not saying you're not going to cold contact. Most people are going to cold contact the door and they're going to get the door slammed in their face, or maybe they're going to get business. I'm going to meet, again, mortgage, financial planners, CPAs, estate planning attorneys. I'm going to teach them how to send me referrals, the same 100. You're going to have 1 or 2 sales and then nothing. And I'm going to have 100 people who know what I do. And if you teach them properly by firing their reticular activating system to know how to send you referrals, you have built a business. So do you have a system that teaches them how to send you clients? And do you have an entire referral system built? So here's the bottom line. Everyone should cold call. I think you should door knock. You should circle prospect, but not as your whole career. So everyone should know how to do it because it makes you tough. It gives you confidence. Over the long haul, building a referral-based practice will make you more money, will be more fun, will save you thousands and thousands of hours and money on not paying for leads. It allows business to come to you where you're just sitting there and the phone rings. It is fun. I've had that thousands of times. When cold calling, you only get business when you're cold calling, door knocking, or you're on the phone. When you build a referral-based practice, it comes to you. So you can spend more time serving your clients. When you build a referral, what I call a referral ant farm, you have other people working as your non-salaried, non-commissioned, non-salaried sales force. It's called leverage. Lead-based business, job. Referral-based business is a business. Now, if you enjoyed this, check out onereferralaway.com. And I'm going to give you a special little surprise here. If you go to onereferralaway.com, it looks like that. Click on that logo. It takes you to the One Referral Away home study course. This is all on the same page. Those are the 12 lessons where I can completely teach you how to build an entire referral-based practice so you don't have to cold call, circle, prospect, door knock, or deal with leads. You'll see right here where there's a button to purchase. And it says $795. I want to show you what it comes with, and I want to give you a discount. So keep watching. You'll click the button, and it'll take you to this page. And then do you see the have a coupon button right there? When you click that, I want you to enter the number 200. And it's going to do that, and it's going to take $200. It's going to make the course $595. So you have 6 or 7 hours of me teaching you how to build a referral-based practice. You have access to once a month group coaching. You're going to get elevator speech training where you're going to create your elevator speech. You're going to send it to me. I'm going to critique it and read it in full form on my YouTube channel. It's going to be there giving you free promotion. Then you have the access to be able to text me at any time. And guess where you'll be texting me? Right there. That's my direct cell phone number. That's my email address. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the training. My name is Rick Silva. If you need help building your referral-based practice, I'm here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.